welcome to Hare the Rabbit podcast. We explore everything that is rabbit. We look at different rabbit breeds, history, superstition, pop culture, news, and more. I would like to thank you for joining me today, your host, Jeff Hittinger. I'm not an expert, I'm just curious about learning more about rabbits, just like you. What is small, fuzzy, floppy, and cute all over? The American Fuzzy Lop, of course. With lots of personality wrapped in a fuzzy 4-pound package, the AFL is gaining in popularity, especially among female rabbit fanciers. The American Fuzzy Lop is a sweet, energetic rabbit that is known to be great for shows, fur, and pet purposes. Their woolly coat is great to be shown off to the world, and the American Fuzzy Lop is a favorite in competitions. For practical purposes, this rabbit's fur can be spun and made into different kinds of clothing. Their curious, playful attitudes make them great pets for singles, seniors, and families alike, as long as they are given plenty of love, affection, and a place to let their energy run free. It is similar in appearance to a Holland Lop. However, the American Fuzzy Lop is a wool breed and will have wool similar to the Angora breeds, although the wool will be shorter than that of the commercial Angora. The American Fuzzy Lop has a weight of up to 4 pounds. The background of the American Fuzzy Lop is interwoven with the history of the Holland Lop. When first introduced, the Holland Lop rabbit was only available in solid colors, and some breeders wanted to add the broken pattern to the Holland Lop gene pool. To do this, they bred their Holland Lops to English spots. While they achieved the goal of producing broken pattern rabbits, they failed to keep the rollback fur that the Holland must have. The offspring instead had the flyback fur of the English spot. The breeders then bred Holland Lops to French Angoras, a breed that has a very gentle rollback coat. The result of these manipulations was that the wool gene was also introduced into the Holland Lop gene pool, and the Holland with long wool was occasionally found in Holland Lop litters. These were generally sold to people who were enchanted with the small, wooled, lop-eared rabbit. One opinion about the development of the breed is that this is a genetic fault in the Holland Lop, where occasionally a long-haired Holland Lop results. Another opinion is that an occasional long-haired Holland Lop is a result of a much earlier breeding attempt between the Holland Lop and the Angora rabbit, which has a very gentle rollback coat. So some Holland Lops could be carrying the necessary genes to produce long hair. Either way, the long-haired Holland Lops were bred together for creating the American Fuzzy Lop rabbit. The pioneer American Fuzzy Lop breeders, including Patty Green Carl and Gary Fellers of the East Coast, and Kim Landry and Margaret Miller of the West Coast, noted the marketability of these fuzzy Hollands. Patty Jean Carl is credited with the realization that the fuzzy gene was recessive, so that mating 2 Holland Lops carrying this gene resulted in a certain percentage of the offspring, theoretically 25%, would be wool. Patty decided to develop these rabbits as a new breed and named them the American Fuzzy Lop. After working for 4 years on the development of the fuzzies, she presented her rabbits to the American Rabbit Breeders Association for the first showing of the new breed at the 1985 ARBA convention in Houston, Texas. 3 separate standards for wooled lops were received from 3 different individuals. The original standard called for a maximum weight of 4 pounds, 4 3/4 pounds, with the ideal weight of 3 3/4 pounds, a rabbit designed to have a body type, ear carriage, and size of a Holland Lop, combined with a short, easily maintained wool. At the 1986 American Rabbit Breeders Association convention in Columbus, Ohio, the American Fuzzy Lop was presented for its second showing and again passed. At its third showing at the 1987 ARBA convention in Portland, Oregon, the ARBA Standards Committee did not approve the breed. They stated a lack of uniformity from one animal to another. A new working standard was written by Jeff Harden at the request of Patty, and this was accepted. The revised standard basically described a wooled Holland, calling for a maximum weight of 4 pounds and an ideal weight of 3.5 pounds. In 1988, American Rabbit Breeders Association requested only the breed sponsor be allowed to bring her Fuzzy Lops to convention in Madison, Wisconsin because of limited cage space. The American Fuzzy Lop had to pass that year to become recognized, or else its proponents would have to start the procedures all over again. Fortunately, Patty's presentation passed at this convention, and the American Fuzzy Lop became a new recognized breed. In 1989, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Helen McKee's Herbie was selected as the first best of breed American Fuzzy Lop at an American Rabbit Breeders Association convention. Herbie's picture graced the American Rabbit Breeders Association Standard of Perfection 91 to 95, representing fuzzies well, but only the American Fuzzy Lop presented by Patty was granted a working standard. The American Fuzzy Lop represents the Holland Lop with the exception of its wool. The American Fuzzy Lop has a short, thick body. They have a broad chest, short shoulders, and broad, deep, well-rounded quarters with plenty of muscles. Their fuzzy ears flop to the sides of their head. The American Fuzzy Lop weighs 3 to 4 pounds. As an adult, with a preferred weight of bucks being at 3.5 pounds and does at 3 3/4 pounds, or between 1.4 and 1.8 kilograms. They have a very compact body that appears very muscular. They come in most of the American Rabbit Breeders Association colors. The ears of the American Fuzzy Lop do not stand erect, but rather lop along the side of their face. They have a short and flat muzzle, similar to that of a cat. Now the coat. The American Fuzzy Lop rabbit fur can come in a variety of colors. The American Fuzzy Lop's coat is actually wool, as it can be spun into yarn, despite being only about 2 inches in length. These rabbits are also known as the head of fancy, which lets you know how lovely their wool really is. American Fuzzy Lop wool is coarse, like that of an Angora rabbit. This means the coat will not be prone to tangling or matting. American Fuzzy Lops can be prone to matting around the tail area, mostly from sitting. Part of your grooming process should include trimming nails, brushing, and trimming the mats. The baby Fuzzy Lop will have what breeders call a baby coat from the age of 2 to 6 months, sometimes longer depending on some of the genetics. It is recommended grooming once per week with a flea comb, cutting away any large tangles carefully with scissors. When the senior coat comes in after the first molt, you will notice the difference. One breeder's seniors are only groomed every 1 to 6 months, most often if they are being shown, less often if they are breeding stock. It is recommended shaving a baby coat off in the summertime with an electric clipper. This greatly reduces the time needed for grooming, and the senior coat will come in sooner. Lots of breeders also breed out this baby coat because a breeder doesn't want to spend hours combing it out. American Fuzzy Lop rabbits come in most of all the recognized American Rabbit Breeders Association colors. They are revealed in 2 categories derived from their color pattern. Their body color will have a nose marking, eye circles, and tinted ears. The pointed, white-colored American Fuzzy Lop rabbits has a pure white color body, and they have markings of different color, such as either black, blue, chocolate, or lilac, and they have these markings on their ears, feet, nose, and tail. There are presently 19 accepted colors in the American Fuzzy Lop, although many other shades can be found in the rabbitry. If you want to purchase a show quality animal, make sure it is an accepted color. Current standards for showing Fuzzy Lops. The weight limit for juniors, which would be under 6 months, is 3 3/4 pounds, and the weight limit for senior bucks and does is 4 pounds. And how they add up the points: the head is 30 points, body is 30, ears are 10, feet and legs are 5, fur density is 8, fur texture is 5, fur length is 2, colors and markings is 5, and condition is 5, for a total of 100 points. A good Fuzzy Lop with good body type is to be short and close, coupled with well-developed shoulders and hindquarters. It is supposed to be heavily muscled, smoothly rounded, well-balanced with other body parts, and within the weight limits. The rabbit should also have strong bone and thick, stubby legs. And keep in mind that a super large head may not balance well with a smaller body. The head should have excellent width from the top down to the muzzle. The head should appear as an even and square block, and flat faces are an excellent sign of strong bone, which is ideal. The head should be set up around medium height directly on the shoulder. No neck should be apparent. A good crown, which is part of the head, is best visible by looking at the ears. The ears should be short, thick, and wide. If the ears have a fold in them down vertically in the middle, it means that the crown is pinching them and needs more width. Fuzzy lops must carry their ears down. Some will hold their ears up when stressed, and others will hold them up all the time, and this is referred to having an airplane ears or a poor ear carriage. The ears should balance with the body and may be longer, but the ideal length is to be about a ½ inch to 1 inch below the jawline. The ears should not have the long fur on them. Feet and legs should be straight. When holding the rabbit on its back and looking at the bottom of the feet should be straight with the toes. The feet should be straight with the toes pointed upwards towards the face. Feet with toes that point outward are a sign of a pinched hindquarters. An ideal show coat for a senior should be slightly coarse, thick, and even all over the body with guard hairs, with the exception of the ears. Softer coats are expected in the juniors. They should be clean, unstained, and free of knots. Length of the wool should be at least 2 inches. It is a disqualification to have wool less than 1/2 inches in length. Recognized varieties. The American Fuzzy Lop comes in many recognized varieties. They are broken down into groups as follows. The Aguette group is chestnut, chocolate, lynx, opal, and squirrel. The broken group is any recognized breed color broken with white. The pointed white group is pure white with black, blue, chocolate, or lilac points. The self group is black, blue, blue-eyed white, chocolate, lilac, and ruby-eyed white. The shaded group is a sable point, Siamese sable, Siamese smoke pearl, tortoiseshell, and blue tortoiseshell. The wideband group is fawn and orange. Few tips on purchasing your first Fuzzy Lop. The first thing to consider is the type. There are 75 points on type in the American Rabbit Breeder Standard of Perfection. The body should be compact and cobby with width equal to height at the shoulders, loins, and hips. The spinal column is not to be prominent, nor should the hip pin bone stand out. The body must feel very smooth and well muscled. As you slide your hands down from the shoulders, they should not be catching on the hips. As you slide your hands down from the hips to the feet, they should not angle in. The head is to present the appearance of a round ball with a flat face. It is massive in appearance and set at mid-height and close to the shoulders. The Fuzzy Lop should not appear to have a neck. Ears are to hang straight down, carried close to the cheeks, and extending a ½ inch to 1 inch below the jaw. They are covered in regular fur. Because of the inquisitive nature of the American Fuzzy Lops, you should allow a show rabbit to relax before evaluating its ear carriage. The adult wool should be very dense, but not felding or Angora type wool. Guard hairs must be well distributed throughout, making it a very easy hair coat for a wooled rabbit. The wool is to feel full of life without being excessively soft or silky. There is a minimum length of 1½ inches, and with a 2-inch length being preferred. The junior coat differs from the mature coat as it will have fewer guard hairs, making it softer and more Angora-like. The softness may cause easy matting and require more grooming to remain tangle-free. By the age of 6 months, this softer wool should be molted out, and the senior texture should be displayed. A senior animal with a junior type coat may be disqualification from competition. Some things to avoid would be a narrow body, pinched or undercut hindquarters, a narrow head, heavy wool side trimmings on the head, narrow ears or ears with wool, a slipped crown. Wool on the front feet is a disqualification. Thin wool, soft and silky wool on seniors is a disqualification, and wool under 1½ inches is also a disqualification. Tips for getting a good showable Fuzzy Lop. As always, check condition. If it is well groomed, kept clean, and to check to make sure it is free of diseases, so check the ears, eyes, nose, and genitals. Fuzzy Lops are supposed to be under 4 pounds. Look for one that is small and compact with good depth, but not overweight, or it may be hard to keep it under that limit. Brood does are the only exception because larger does, while not extremely fat, produce larger litters. Look for a good head that balances with the body. Also check to make sure that the eye color match and toenails for the color of the animals. The wool should be long and dense. It should be coarse, but babies under 6 months will have a soft and get knotted easily. They will outgrow this and should be groomed as much as possible to keep the matting down. Check out the pedigree. Don't ever get a show rabbit without a pedigree. Look at the line and check for inbreeding, or if it has the colors you would like to see if you want to breed. Rabbits are clean animals when it comes to grooming themselves, and American Fuzzy Lops are no exception. These rabbits do not require daily grooming unless they are going through a molt. When this happens, simply run your fingers through their wool to work out any tangles and debris that may have gotten stuck in their coats. You may also use a pet-specific brush if you don't want to use your fingers. But under no circumstances should you fully bathe your rabbit. This causes them too much stress. If you find a stain on your Fuzzy Lop's coat, you can spot clean it with a damp cloth. As with all other rabbits, their diet should consist of 70 to 80% hay and grass, with the rest of their meal consisting of fresh fruits and vegetables. Make sure your rabbit's enclosure is dung-free, clean, and always has fresh water at their disposal. If your rabbit's enclosure is outdoors, always be wary of the temperatures and weather forecast, as these factors can be potential danger to your furry animal. Whether your enclosure is indoors or out, it is best to keep this little guy happy with plenty of free time outside their cage. American Fuzzy Lops are active rabbits who love to run and jump around while basking in the sunlight, so a fenced backyard is definitely recommended. If you live in an area where winters are particularly harsh and your Fuzzy Lop is indoors, they can still benefit from having time outside of their enclosures, playing with their toys and cozying up with their favorite humans. The American Fuzzy Lop's coat is actually wool, as it can be spun into yarn. The American Fuzzy Lop is not at risk for any particular diseases. However, because its full fur is so woolly, owners should watch out for wool block. Rabbits groom themselves like cats by licking their fur, but while cats can regurgitate the fur out of their own systems, rabbits cannot. When they eat too much of their own fur, their bodies tell them that they are full, when in reality they are starving. If left untreated, they can die, so it's important for owners to be aware of when and how much their rabbits eat at all times. Some owners use a papaya enzyme tablet, as the enzymes are supposed to break down the fur balls and therefore prevent blockages. Also keep an eye on your rabbit's fingernail and teeth growth to make sure that they're not overgrowing. A rabbit's teeth grow at an incredible rate, and usually they are shaved down by the high fiber, high hay, and grass diet. However, some rabbits' teeth still tend to overgrow, and if this seems to be the case with your rabbit, there are several ways you can go about reducing their teeth length, including giving them some rabbit-friendly wood to chew on and play with. Female rabbits can be spayed as early as 4 months of age. However, vets will like to wait until they're at least 6 months. And this is because the older that they are, the less risky it is for complications on the operating table. Bucks can be neutered as young as 3.5 months old. American Fuzzy Lop Rabbit is a fancy rabbit breed. It is known as the head of the fancy. The breed slogan expresses the reason why the breed was developed. Today they are mainly raised as show rabbits and also very popular as pets, although the breed has a good coarse wool that is great for making into yarn. A little bit about their temperament and behavior. These rabbits love to play. Their energetic nature makes them ideal for families with younger children who have never had a pet before, or for a couple who want to take the next steps in their relationship by caring for an adorable animal. Save for the initial purchase of their enclosures and the costs of the actual rabbit, they are relatively low-maintenance animals. They don't require much grooming and simply need food, water, and plenty of affection to keep them happy and healthy. Purchasing 2 rabbits instead of 1 may give both rabbits another year or 2 of life, as animals tend to live longer if they have some company to pass the time. However, this means their enclosure should be sufficient to hold 2 fully grown rabbits with plenty of space to spare. The American Fuzzy Lop Rabbit loves to hang out indoors and hang out with their families on their own watch. With plenty of playtime and toys, your Fuzzy Lop will be a wonderful addition to a growing family. American Fuzzy Lops are an active, playful, social breed with lots of personality. They enjoy the attention of their owners as well as the companionship of other rabbits. AFLs do enjoy having toys such as a plastic ball, pine cone, a piece of soft wood, stuffed sock, or an old glove. Like many other Lop rabbit breeds, they also love to be cuddled. Both does and bucks are sweet, and they are considered to be a good first rabbit for beginners. The does can sometimes be a bit more shy and skittish. The does can especially be nervous with loud sounds and fast movements. The average lifespan of an American fuzzy Lop rabbit is about 5 to 8 years, but they can live longer in captivity, up to 10 years. If you're looking for a pet and you're interested in the American fuzzy Lops, they do make a wonderful pet. Keep in mind they require a bit additional grooming than a short-haired Lop. They have wonderful personalities and are very docile. Now a little bit about the AFL Club, and the objective of the AFL Club is to encourage, promote, and improve the breeding of American fuzzy Lop rabbits by maintaining standards, encouraging exhibitions, and offering services to its members. The American Fuzzy Lop Rabbit Club currently has nearly 550 members from all over the United States and several foreign countries. In addition to the national organization, there are also a number of regional specialty clubs. They have a specialty club page on their website you can view for additional details. The AFLRC also has their own official group on Facebook. The small size, inquisitive personality, and easy care coat makes the AFL suitable for a pet, 4-H project, or show animal. The breed is recognized by the American Rabbit Breeders Association, but it is not recognized by the BRC, the British Rabbit Council. Today, the breed is raised mainly as a show animal and also as pets. Maybe you are interested in keeping this wonderful, cute, fuzzy breed for yourself. If you would like to email me, reach out at hareoftherabbit@gmail.com, or you can visit the website at hareoftherabbit.com. If you would like to support the podcast and keep the lights on, you can support us whenever you use Amazon through the link at the website on the Support the Podcast page. This will not cost you anything extra, and I cannot see who purchased what. You can also become a Fluffle fan supporter by donating through Patreon. And again, there's a link at the hareoftherabbitpodcast.com.